Hello yogis, Pleath here. Today for our practice you'll wish you had at least one strap, maybe two, and a bolster, and maybe a blanket. I've covered my mat here with a single blanket just to make it a little bit easier to move around on it. You're welcome to go there as well. Today what came up first and foremost in our session, our energy session, was I give myself permission to be whole, body, mind, and spirit. So take a few moments, make yourself comfortable lying on your backs, and for a few moments say out loud, I give myself permission to be whole, body, mind, and spirit. I give myself permission to be whole, body, mind, and spirit. Once we've cleared that and we've given ourselves permission, we moved into our psoas, piriformis, and lower back, all defined by problem solving. We link this into a section of wood elements defined by liver, linked into a section of earth elements defined by eyes. Liver being vision, eyes seeing truth. Within our wood element, we connected with some gall bladder energy as defined by decision making, the rhomboids and pecs, some yin muscles of the wood element, defined by worry, also known as problem solving, and the yang activity of the wood element known as deciding, defined by the consciousness of insight. In the earth, we had our traps, triceps, lats, and hands. Those are our yin muscles of the earth element. And we define those by joy and sadness. We also went into the intuition process defined by surrender. That's a metal element within that earth. And then within the earth, we also came up with some change oriented to externally what's going on, the anger we're feeling, and people around us. And we're defining that by the consciousness of our pituitary gland, specifically the intuition consciousness connected with the pituitary gland. Simultaneously to all of this, we have a connection from our head and our pelvis happening, our brain to our pelvis. Specifically, we're talking about the temporal lobe to the ischium, or the hip bone. And we're defining that with the consciousness of the stomach and thinking. We link that into our lower back, and we define that through worry and the color blue, the water element. We would link that to some old stuff we're carrying in our DNA, ancestral things that are linked into our pituitary gland, and the body part of our low back. We link that into our thyroid, as defined by grief, and our pituitary gland. So go ahead and lie down on your backs. Have your straps handy. And those of you with two straps, I'm going to start with you first. You're going to take your first strap, so knees bent, feet flat. You'll take your first strap, and you're going to watch where this buckle is. I like to make sure that I can tighten it while I'm lying down. So I like to take the buckle to the outside of my body. I'm going to loop this around my upper right thigh, and then I'm going to hook it onto the ball of my left foot. Once it's here, I want to start to draw my knee in, and if it goes tight around my hip, I'm in pretty good position. If it's too loose, I just grab this little strap and I pull on it. Now, those of you with one strap, join us. You're going to grab your strap, and again, make sure the buckle is to the outside of your body. You're going to loop this strap around the ball of your right foot, sending your right foot straight up towards the ceiling. And then take the strap behind the back of your head, right about where the occipital ridge is, that little bump at the back of your head. And again, if you need to tighten it, if you'd like to tighten it, you just pull on this little strap. And then you allow there to be a little bit of a stretch in your neck and your shoulders. And hands release down. Few big deep breaths here. And some of you may want to sway that leg side to side, allowing there to be a little additional stretch there. I recommend taking it really gentle, really slowly. If you want to put a little pressure on that left foot to lengthen this leg forward, sometimes you can slide the strap up more towards the center of your thigh, and it's a little bit of a better stretch. Some people like it all the way down in the hip crease. Play with what works for you. Three more big breaths. When you're ready to release, bend your right knee, release the strap and allow your head to rest back to the floor. Gently release. Set the top strap aside for those of you with two straps. Take the strap and hook it onto the ball of your left foot this time. Your right foot, sorry. And then pull your left knee in. Notice if you want to give it any more length, you can lengthen your strap if you'd like or shorten it. And then everyone grab your second strap or your first strap and loop it around the ball of your left foot this time, sending your left foot straight up towards the ceiling. Take that strap right behind your head. Find a place where there's a little resistance. Just let it go. You can sway gently side to side. Few full breaths. Grab your strap, bend your knee, allow your head to rest towards the floor. Remove the strap around the ball of your foot. If you have that second strap, remove it and lie flat on your back. Take a moment, just assess, setting your straps aside. Walk your feet in one at a time and gently sway your knees side to side. Side to side. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a good hug. See how you feel. If you'd like to, you can straighten your left leg out, pressing your left thigh into the floor. And then for some of us, we'll draw our knee out to the side. Take a few breaths. Drawing your knee back up towards center, take this knee all the way across your body, keeping your right shoulder towards the floor. You can even roll your chin to look towards your right hand if you'd like. One more breath. And slowly come back up towards center. Plant both feet flat on the mat again and sway your knees gently side to side. Second side, pull your left knee in towards your chest. You're welcome to keep this knee bent if you'd like. If it feels good for you though, go ahead and straighten out that leg, pressing the thigh into the floor. If you're comfortable here, if you're feeling some good stuff happening in your body, by all means stay here. For those of you who'd like, open your knee out to the side. Drawing your knee back up towards center, take your right hand on your left outer knee and draw the leg all the way over, rolling onto your side for this easy twist. Gently release, coming back up towards center. Release your feet to the floor. Walk your feet in and gently sway your knees side to side. Moving bridge, hands by your sides, feet firmly planted on the floor. Gently inhale, reaching your arms up and over. Allow your hips to lift. And exhale, release your hands back down. Moving in and out. Inhale, lift your hips, reach your arms above your head. And exhale, slowly release it back down. Take about 3 more moving bridges. 3 more. Just 1 more. And for the next pose, you'll want your bolster. You're going to grab your bolster, bring it right next to your hip. Press your feet into the floor, lift your hips, and slide the bolster underneath your hips. And rest your hips gently on the bolster. I'll be here for a few minutes, so make sure you're fairly comfortable. Just allow your hips to soften. See how much you can surrender into this pose. Begin to return to your breath, pressing your feet into the floor. Allow your hips to lift up off the bolster and slide the bolster off to the side. So gently sway your knees side to side. side to side. And then roll off to your right. Press your top hand into the earth and rise up to seated. Grab your bolster and place it on your mat like so, lengthwise. Place your frontal hip bones right on top of this bolster. Now for some of us, it might feel better if you add a blanket at the top of the bolster, or you might wish to have your blanket handy if you're really tall to extend the length of the bolster. Go ahead and push your hips right on the edge so your knees are out to the side like a little bit of a frog pose. Your arms are out to the side, and then you can rest your head to one side. Be here for just a few minutes, resting our head. I'll tell you when to turn your head. So as this bolster gently holds up your hips, can you feel a softness happening around your low back? Can you allow your entire low back to surrender to this fully supported pose? Your brain is getting busy during these quiet poses. Consider repeating to yourself, I give myself permission to be whole, body, mind, and spirit. If you have your head turned to one side, go ahead and shift your head over to the other side. Begin to deepen your breath. Slide your hands down. Slowly press up and shift back towards child's pose, resting your forehead on the edge of the bolster. From this child's pose, begin to rise up onto your shins. Place your right hip next to the bolster. Turn your chest towards the bolster and slowly roll down. Now those of you with a blanket can take your blanket upper right hand corner down towards the center, and that can add a little bit of comfort if you'd like. For a nice easy twist, letting it go. Returning to your breath. Few big full breaths. Slide your hands back. Press your hands into the floor to rise up. Then from there, turn your back to your bolster. Flip your knees up and over, stacking your knees. And now your left hip is next to the bolster. You can shift your blanket if you have it. Now it's from the upper left corner down towards the center. And slowly roll down, sliding your blanket down so it's underneath that left ear. And then relax, just allowing your hands to fall at your sides. And begin to surrender to this pose. Begin to deepen your breath. Slide your hands back, press your hands into the floor. Last thing to rise up is your head. Set your blanket and your bolster off to the side. Roll down onto your backs. And once again, knees bent. Gently sway your knees side to side. Hugging both knees in towards your chest. Apanasana. Breathe. Release your feet to the floor. Just gently allow your knees to fall open. See if you can allow your belly to grow soft, like a pool of water in this unsupported Baddha Konasana. Bring your hands to your outer thighs. Draw your knees to touch. Grab that bolster and slide it underneath your legs, under your thighs. Allow your knees to lengthen out. Now, there are many ways that you can do this. Today, I encourage you to roll your bolster up on its edge if it can, and allow it to really release that low back. If this doesn't feel good for you, by all means, roll down that bolster and place it right underneath your thighs above your knees. Open your palms. Take a few big, deep breaths. Let it go. Completely relax. I give myself permission to be whole, body, mind, and spirit. You're welcome to leave the bolster where it is. If you'd like to transition into full Shavasana, move your bolster off to the side and straighten your legs. Lying flat on your back, allow yourself to melt into the earth. And as you melt into the earth, a moment to pause, acknowledge, I give myself permission to be whole, body, mind, and spirit. As we balance wood to earth, our wood element is the controlling element of earth. And we begin to see the truth. As we cultivate this vision through this balance of this wood element, move towards truth. We allow our head and our body to communicate clearly. Allow our thinking stomach to flow naturally and smoothly. Our lower back has mobility, strength. Remove some old stories from all the way down in our DNA that we've inherited. It can be up to 8 generations back. And move into, or perhaps gain access to, memories 8 generations back. Who knows? We link it into our thyroid and our pituitary glands. Thyroid, regulating hormones throughout our body, as does the pituitary. Take a few deep breaths as you begin to return back to this room. Roll to your right. Pressing your top hand into the earth, rise up to a comfortable cross-legged seated position with your eyes closed. Gathering your hands at your heart. Take a moment to acknowledge what a miracle you really are. And what a gift this body is to your soul. Namaste. Thank you for joining on this video. Again, my name is Leith O'Leary, and I do appreciate any donations that you would give. If you enjoyed this video, I accept Venmo and PayPal, and you can find my Venmo links and my PayPal on my website, www.leitholeary.com. Again, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you really felt balanced post this practice. And again, you can always reach me. My contact information is on my website. Thank you again. Namaste.